knock your socks off. That's fine. Okay. But you need to know how to do this. Do we forget our timetables? We don't use them every day. Well, more or less, we don't use them, right? But when we're counting money, we know how to count money. We know how to give change. We know how to spell. Well, I have little problems here and there, but we know how to spell. We know our alphabet. All right. So I want IP addressing to be the same way. IPv4, especially because we're still in love with it for some reason, and then start getting more in love with IPv6 and get more comfortable with it so we can configure. All right. So again, go to globed.net. We're not done. We're going to configure OSPF now. Go to globed.net, please, and go to the CCNA bootcamp. I'll show it to you again before we start the lab. Okay. There it is right there. 64 hours. Okay. 64 hours, Saturday, Sunday, 6 to 9 EST. Okay. Well, no, I should have just stayed there. I'll just go to the lab. Online. All right. This is a simple lab, but we'll do a dual stack. All right. So here's the lab. No big deal. I already put the IPv4 IP addresses. So let me put here what the IPv6 is going to be. But first we'll do IPv4. And let's do it the long way. So we can talk about that as well. Bad, obviously. 1000:64. Okay. And then you get this, Control C, and we'll come on. I'll just put it on here. All right. And it's not the LAN, it's just space. All right. And that'll be that. All right, so IPv4 is already set. So let's talk about OSPF. So OSPF is a link state routing protocol, right? And it is based on areas. And the default, the backbone area is area 0. If in this topology, I can say I put this area 1 and area 2, these two routers will never talk. So you need to add an area 0 in here. So everything has to go through area 0. But we're going to do a single area OSPF, make life easy. We'll look at other things. All right. So we can do enable from FigT, and we do router, OSPF. Now what comes next? It's the process ID number. You have from 1 to 65,535. The process ID number, let me get my face in here. Okay. The process ID number is local to the router. You can have 1 in router 1, 2 in router 2, 3 in router 3. It doesn't freaking matter. It's a local number used to identify the link state database for OSPF. Okay, so let's go back. All right, so everybody uses 1Y because if we have to go back in, if I don't remember what process ID number I use, then I'm creating another process ID. So everybody uses 1, all right, for labbing anyway. Router OSPF 1, and it all depends on the, and they're doing network, the network that I'm attached to. In this, I'm doing OSPF v2, not v3. Network 10.1.1.4. Now here you put a wildcard map, right? You put a wildcard map. But let's say you forget, you just don't, real scenario, okay? Because in firewalls, you can't put that, like in the ASA, you can't put a wildcard mask, you just subnet mask. So here, 255.255.255.0. Let's say I do that by mistake, area 0, right? You put the area that you're in, and I hit enter. Look what happened. UWR. Let's do the show IP protocol. Please don't forget this show command. It's very good. It's going to go ahead and switch it for you. All right. It's going to switch it. Now, I wouldn't risk doing that in the test. Okay. Don't do that in the test. All right. You know that it's a wildcard mask. All right. And we'll be talking about wildcard masking and all that. It's not a big deal. I'll show you 2 ways of doing it. If you know how to subnet my way, the wildcard mask is right there because your broadcast calc is the wildcard mask. But anyway, so that's that. All right. And you can see it here. You can see the router ID. Now you can manually put the router ID if you want, and Cisco prefers that you do, but we're not. We're just putting that. Here's your process ID number that we used. All right. And here is the administrative distance, right? 110. Let's go to router 2. And believe me, when I told my first CCNA ever, it was a 648. I kept getting that caret, getting an error because I kept forgetting to space out areas. So, because I get nervous. So that's just the way it is. It was my first certification, or my first Cisco certification. So route OSPF 1, it doesn't have to. Network 10.1.1.000.255. All right. And one of the things that you want to look at when you're doing OSPF is you get a full loading none. We don't get a full loading none. There's an, and then we have another network, which is 8. And you see how that, I'm going to stop right here. This is the best example I can give you because everybody says, what is login synchronous? Login synchronous. This is why I type login synchronous. You see that I got back a log message, right? I got a log message giving me this, hey, this or just created a neighborhood. And when I typed it, I was going to type it. I don't know what I was doing here, why I was typing this, but okay. So I was going to type that, and then it just interrupted my type. So didn't like. All right. So that's why I typed login sync. What was I doing? Oh, I knew I was going to do 8. That's why I typed it. I came back here to do the other network. That's why I typed 8. There. Oh, now I took out errors. There you go. Do WR. Now I'm going to verify it. So there are a lot of things in here. Make sure it's IP protocols. Always verify. So we got 2 networks. And look what. See that? That's why you got to verify. So I need to take that. And it's good. This is the reason so you know how to verify, you know how to troubleshoot, you can then fix issues, router, OSPF, because when they tell, well, you have no real world experience, or I bet you I can get it. Okay. No. Now I'm just going to copy that. And really, I'm going to erase both of them because that should be 4, not 0. Okay. And I'm going to do the other one as well because that's wrong. Oh, okay. No. All right. So let's read network 10.1.1.4.0.0.0.255. There we go. And I'm going to do up arrow this, and because I already got that syslog message. Arrow key to the left, put an 8 in there, hit enter, Control Z. What's up? Good morning. Just passed the CCNA. Awesome. Congratulations, brother. Good for you. You're quite. No, thank you. All right. Now it's on to the next step. Beautiful. I love it. Show I protocol. What is going on? Let's take a look. Now we're having issues. It's not taking what I'm putting in there. Show I and all right. We have the 9 and this is network 10. If we do a protocols is similar to the show IPM, but we can see the subnet mask. So let's take a all right. So here we have 10.1.9 with a side of 30. We have 10.1.6. So 10.1.6 is the 4 network, and 10.1.9 is the 8. I want to know what's going on. All right. So let's do when something's just going just completely bad. I do this router OSPF. Now, obviously, in a production network, no, I don't. I do in a production network. You do not want to no router OSPF 1 unless you're in a maintenance window and there's something major. All right. Do WR. You don't get rid of a routing protocol. You don't replace a router. Major things like that during working hours. So unless you're a T-Mobile, router OSPF 10.1.1.4.0.0.0.25 area 0. You got that? Okay. Oh, that. Hello.